Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
You know what? I have to applaud Alana because she does such a good job at keeping the energy with smog, haze, and more haze. Alana.
How do
Great
you do
work.
it? Yeah.
You know, we're all stuck in a situationship with the inversion. Nobody's happy about it, but we got to just get through it, right? There is hopefully an end in sight. I know you're waiting for me to tell you about one. There's hope, so let's get there. I started with clean air tonight. Yeah, Black Desert Sky Cam. Breathe it in from far away if you're not down in southern Utah, because they've seen the warmth, they've seen cleaner conditions, and they have a really nice setup for the sunset tonight. Temperatures sitting at 63 in St. George. We've got 30s and 40s in northern Utah, quite a few 50s popping up in the central portion of the state where we don't have inversion conditions, which is primarily the northern and northeastern valleys. We do have that warming trend that has really taken over, but unfortunately that haze takes away from any other weather tidbit. You look at the Salt Lake Valley as the sun's going down. Utah Lake, you can barely make out the lake mountains. Cache Valley looked worse today than they were yesterday, which is not a surprise. This haze turning into smog. The Alta view doesn't even show the Salt Lake Valley. Almost 50 degrees in Camas. Meanwhile, we were in the low to mid 40s in our valleys. That's when you know these inversion conditions are stubborn. We are warming each day. I mean, this is an extraordinary ridge of high pressure in January, bringing unseasonably warm temperatures. We're seeing it in the south, but in the north, they're a little bit more moderated. Freezing by ABC 4 News at 10. Hazy conditions are going to stay. We could see some fog developing, especially in northern Utah valleys like Cache Valley, the Bear River Valley, and along the Wasatch Front, where that inversion level has climbed to 7,000 feet. Yes, our mountain valleys now impacted with the haze. Was checking the cameras. You can see it from Jordanelle. How about Heber tonight with the sun going down, that haze in front of the mountain? You really notice it throughout the afternoon as we head into the evening. We know that the sunset is pretty because the smog actually scatters the light into tomorrow. Unhealthy air for sensitive groups in Salt Lake, Davis, and Utah County. That is not good, and we will see the moderate air with elevated particulate matter in Cache Valley, Weber County, Box Elder, and Tooele County, and then on the eastern side of the state, the Wasatch Back also expecting elevated particulate matter. In southern Utah, it's clean air, and it stays that way. Good news for them. High pressure centered to our west, and we're going to watch it. A few clouds sneaking underneath that ridge. We have a northerly flow. Unfortunately, with our high pressure, we're dry. And as we look at seasonal snowfall to date, it's abysmal. Look at this, a 10th in Salt Lake City. Last year at this point, we had over 6 inches. Don't love that at all. Not just Salt Lake, though, is impacted. We look at cities throughout the state. Provo is the pits, only ½ inch there. As you look towards Cedar City, southern Utah valleys did a little better. They had some storms, but 8 inches in Cedar when they typically see over 22. Logan is roughly 20 inches short of where they should be by this point in the season. No storm in sight. We've got haze, though. We're going to watch as that jet stream kind of stays above us. We see the high pressure kind of push towards the Pacific Northwest at the end of the weekend and center up there. That should open the door for some breezy conditions as a trough heads towards the northern plains. We want the breezy conditions because it encourages mixing, but also cooler air aloft could help take the edge of the inversion, or it could clear it completely. I'm here for option 2, but it's not super likely. As we look at that high pressure, it builds back pretty quickly. So even if we get a quick relief by the end of the weekend and into next week, it's back, it's rebuilding. And unfortunately, we stay with quiet conditions. Glimmer of hope. End of next week, maybe. Wetter pattern starts to show up on the 6 to 10 day, January 20th through the 24th. Here is hoping, cross everything, because we need moisture. And we definitely need a strong enough system to clear the air in northern Utah. 40s for tomorrow, 40s and 50s on the eastern side of the state, 53 in Cedar City, mid-60s again in St. George, where you're going to see this warming trend with sunshine. Love it. In the south, upper 50s, low 60s, but it's dry there too. A storm would be welcome. I've sent out invitations, no RSVP. It's not happening until the end of next week. Hazy conditions. We see the haze potential build back for the latter half of the weekend and into MLK Day. Whew, hopefully, as I send it back to Brian and Sarah, you've got some better news than the northern valleys dealing with haze. Over to you guys.